Hey MennoNerds, this is Deborah, and today I want to talk about a Christmas story that is not found in the Bible. The Christmas story I want to share with you today is called Good King Wenceslas. And maybe you all know that song, and I'm not going to sing it because I'm not a good singer. But basically it says, Good King Wenceslas looked out on the feast of Stephen, when the snow lay round about, deep and crisp and even. Brightly shone the moon that night, though the frost was cruel, when a poor man came in sight, gathering into fuel. And it goes on to say that this king, Wenceslas, asked his page who was walking with him to bring him bread and bring him wine and bring him pine logs so that he could help this peasant to have an enjoyable Christmas. And the very end of the song says, Therefore all you men be sure, wealth or rank possessing, ye who now will bless the poor, shall yourselves find blessing. So I really would encourage you just to YouTube that, just get a feel for the song. But what I want to share is about Wenceslas's character. Wenceslas was a prince who was born in the late 900s AD, so the 10th century. And he is revered as a martyr, and he is the patron saint of, I believe, Czechoslovakia, or one of those countries. And Wenceslas grew up with a mother who was a pagan and a father who was a Christian, but he himself was a devout Christian. And he did a lot during his life to help support really a lot of worthy causes. So, for example, he helped to support literary education and schooling, especially in a time period when even nobility really didn't read or write much. And if you Google his name, you can see pages and pages of all of the really amazing things that he did to make a difference in his community. But what we can get from Wenceslas is just the sense of helping out. And it's interesting because the Feast of Stephen is actually on Boxing Day. Not everyone knows what Boxing Day is, it depends on the country, but in Canada, Boxing Day is the day after Christmas, so it's December 26th. And typically, as of right now, it's the day when people go crazy, and you go to the mall and there's tons of mobs. People are really enjoying sales because every company, every store has sales going on that day. And it's really easy for us to become really preoccupied about things like materialism and things like how we can get the most amount of money or the biggest gifts. And Christmas has become so commercialized, and we hear that all the time. We hear complaints all the time about forgetting the real reason for the season, which is obviously Jesus Christ. But what I love about Wenceslas's character is that even though he was a rich man himself, he was finding those needs and he was filling them. And I think that's what I would really encourage you to do this Christmas, because there's so many needs out there. And yes, it's fine and great to give cans to a canning drive, and I really want to encourage you. That's one very practical, simple way to give, is to donate to a downtown mission or to donate to some inner city cause. But there's also many other ways that we don't think about. For example, there's lots of people who are going through a very difficult time because this might be their first Christmas without a loved one, especially people who are divorced or widowed recently. Young children who don't have a mom or a dad in the picture, people who are rough sleepers on the streets, who are not going to have anyone give them that personal touch this Christmas. And it all goes back to the book of James. It says, Pure and undefiled religion in the sight of God our Father is this, to look after orphans and widows in their distress, and to keep ourselves unstained from the love of money. So this Christmas, I just really encourage you. Who are those people that you can reach out and touch? How can you be a good King Wenceslas to that page who is living by the forest but still needs someone to bring him pine logs? Thanks for your time. God bless.